Hello everyone and welcome back to Dan Plays Save the Light. So for those of you, well, I mean, no one will be wondering, but I have a thing to explain. Basically, I lost a portion of my last session. I hit start, I hit save and quit, and it went back to the menu screen, and Garnet was there on the menu screen. I thought that was super cool, but it was after I'd stopped recording, so I didn't get a chance to capture that moment of me seeing that. But I was like, great, and I turned off my console, and haven't touched it for a couple of days, actually, since like that recording. So I turned it back on today to record another Steven Universe Save the Light session, and Garnet is no longer in the room, and I'm panicking, and I'm going, well, that's not right, what's the problem? So basically it didn't save that session at all. So what I've tried to do, and I could have been carefuler about it, I suppose, but basically I just quickly went back through the last section in the last sort of 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and just redid everything I did to the same perspective. The only downside is XP seems to be distributed slightly differently, and Steven's ended up a level higher than he was, and I don't think I put the attribute points in the exact same way I did the first time, so some of the stats are very slightly different. People want to go compare. I know that, for example, with Connie, I think I ended up putting more in teamwork this time. I was trying to do exactly the same, and what I really should have done is just pull up the old video and like literally done the exact same move, so it was all matching. But I thought I'd let you guys know my sadness, because that was really a disappointing. That was really a disappointing situation. For me. The only thing otherwise that I've learnt is that Connie can do this, which I did not previously know she was able to. Ooh, is that not? No, it's not my missing thing. Is that my missing thing? Nope, not my missing thing. So yeah, I found out Connie can cut grass when I quickly went back through the section before this. So yeah, it's just kind of frustrating. I don't know why I lost the save. I hope it doesn't happen again, because that's really concerning. I did switch the Xbox off at the power this time, after saving and quitting. The reason being that I'm trying to fix the issue that I mentioned with my Xbox, my DVR, where it's all the sound is out of sync. Who knows though? Who knows what in the world happened? Hopefully it doesn't happen again. But here's the big thing. Here's the big headline, guys. Last video, you may remember I was very frustrated at that. And when I was editing the video, there's a bit where I zoom in on that. And the zoom went wrong and it applied to the whole clip. But the zoom did make me, I think, there's a bit where I was jumping up around here. And I thought I saw the shadow of something. See there? Peeking out from behind that pillar. Can I zoom in on that? I'll zoom in on that in the edit so you can see what I'm talking about. So I'm now going to attempt to try and get up there. I've got to assume that I've just got to have Steven as high as he can. That's... Nope. Either I cocked that up or it's not possible to get back. But there it is. A Together Forever breakfast fully restores the entire party's health. Hooray. Beautiful. So there you go. That's my missing thing. It's a fortunate little cheat that I've got here that occasionally I can sort of... It's like in, I think, the second or third video, I went back into the town and did a little bit of exploring some areas that I'd seen that I'd missed when I rewatched the footage, but what can you do? So the question now, I suppose, is what do I do? A few people have sort of expressed concern that I might stick with this team going forward because it contains my 3 favourite fusions. For the benefit of just experimenting and doing a bit of everything, I am going to do a swap. There you go. Oh, Garnet's come in at 906. Oh, that's helpful. So I don't have to build her up to the same level as everyone else. That's really neat, actually. That's a good feature. So it doesn't feel like I've got to catch her up. Oh, Greg, was he already at level 6? Does the game artificially increase their level when they're not being used so that if I switch back to them they won't be like really underpowered? If it does, I don't know if that's cool or not. It does prevent the Pokemon problem from being an issue though, where you put a Pokemon in your box for a few, for a chunk of time and it gets so underpowered and then you can't really use it anymore without having to do a bunch of grinding. Cool! Well, there you go. We have a Garnet. in our party instead of a pearl, I guess. I found pearl was the one I was using the least. Amethyst's whip attack is really great, and Connie's badass. So it's, I guess pearl was the character I was using the least. So let's see now where we are. We can I called this last week. Boom! I say last week, last video. I think there's a pizza cutter I can sharpen. Oh, that's such a cool idea to put such an unusual location into the game, because you would expect you would just have like the core locations, your town, so your big donuts and your boardwalk, and then like the temple itself, and then you would just have generic foresty place, generic. Oh wow! Way to reach the forge. I also want to make a point, actually, that I made a big fuss last week about, like, hey, voice acting from Estelle! She's present, and that's awesome! All she said was hello, and she said like one sentence. I'm willing to bet Garnet can, I was going to say. I don't know if I, in a previous video, predicted Garnet would be the one to break down these sort of obelisk-type objects, but that had occurred to me that she would punch through them. There we go. So this is...
Cheeseburger backpack.
Can she jump higher than everyone else as well or something? No. There's still some areas that I'm like, I wonder how I get to. Oh no, that wasn't supposed to happen. Can Connie cut? Is that like something to cut through, or that's just a random bit of texture? There I am trying to open that rock thinking there's something inside of it. This is really cool. The question is, so many pathways. So I can head down here, I can head down here. No, I can't head down there. That's just a bit of broken staircase. So I can either head down here, or I can go down the main path there. I think I'm going to head down here because this looks like a secret area. Pink stuff. Great. Oh, no. What is that? So obviously you need a Garnet and someone else to get through this. So I'm guessing that must mean there are more unlockable characters. But with that said, what the hell is that? Oh no.
Lovely.
I mistook Amethyst for something cool. Sorry, Amethyst. That was a sick burn. I mistook you for something cool. Wow, that's harsh, Dan. That's harsh. Right, so I'm really liking Garnet's run cycle. I think that's pretty neat. I like a jump too. Yeah, very cool. So this is this music, by the way, is awesome. I'm not sure why they. I mean, I guess it's must be some sort of play on one of the themes from the Bismuth episode, or it's just feels appropriate.
Oh yes.
Something it's just like one of the little upgrade. So this is going to teach me how to forge stuff, I guess. No way. So Garnet's jump, there's two versions. If you're moving, she leaps forward like that. But if you're standing still, she jumps up like that. Which again, like the Pearl one, the animation ends in a like suddenly, and she just goes back to. They don't seem to have worked out any sort of animation for. This is crazy. That is some horrendous clipping. These walls eat half of me, but not the rest. So I don't see anything to sharpen a pizza cutter on, tragically. But I can make from the schematics I have. Oh, so I assumed I'd be able to make this stuff wherever and whenever, but it looks like this, I can only make the stuff. That's frustrating, because I could either save up and build up for an upgraded sword for Connie, Or I could go straight for a shield for Steven now. That one I'd have to come back to make. Well, let's make the shield. I'm hoping to make both in the end anyway. Steven's the one character I'm pretty sure I'm always going to have as well, so upgrading him soonish, I suppose, is the right way to go. Oh, you know, I just realised that's a little too loud. I'm wondering, is that coming through my headphones? Might be. So, Steven giving me the good old star eyes because he's got on a shield. I don't want to head back to the warp pad just yet. So I could do another shield. What? Oh no, that's the sword schematic. And there's the dull pizza cutter. So I was right. I just love that look on Steven's face. Perfect. So I can bring that back to Jenny? Is that the sister that needs that? I think it is. It's Kiki that needs me to go deliver some pizzas. Because it had that weird... I feel like there's more to do in here. They can't have sent me here just for this. I mean, I know it's important, but... I reckon there's more to the forge. I'll just go figure it out. It's probably that area underneath that I couldn't get to. Otherwise, it's probably just here for... crafting the weapons and stuff. That is some awesome music. Okay, guess it's back to the warp pad for whatever Garnet wants. Always have to do what Garnet wants. Never what Steven wants. Or what Amethyst wants. No, it's what Garnet wants. Typical. Whoop. Wow, okay, so there's another chest here. At least one of the light Stevens that puts the XP up, and then I found one of 14 points to forge stuff, I guess. That's crazy. Alright, well, we'll come back to that, I guess. Right, so where does Garnet want me to go now? Oh, there's a whole new area. The Great North. Right, before we go to the new area, let's let's go back to the town and do a little tiny bit of exploring, sort out this pizza thing. I've also again, an advantage I've gained from the editing of these. I thought I'd clicked all 4 options on Buck. If you look at the video for I think it was the second episode, when I talk to Buck, or maybe the first, and I'm trying to like figure out what will make him do something, I clicked the third one twice. I guess I was supposed to click the 4th option. Yeah, it's where I live, Connie. Steven, look at this place. So I thought I'd made all of the relevant, I thought I'd done everything I could do with Buck, basically, but I hadn't done the 4th option, so that's my bad. Basically, I just clicked the wrong button, I guess, and then didn't realize until I was editing the video. Oh wow, while we're here, boom. Oh, nice. A gauntlet schematic. Speaking of the what we've unlocked, actually, should I not
Video games.
on Steven be so the shield applies itself to the relevant person, so it's currently at tier 2, so I can find a schematic for tier 3 at some point, I guess. And wow, I've got 15 points to assign on Garnet. Next time I'll put that up and then maybe her attack some more. That'll do. Again, I've decided I'm not going to worry too much about those.
That's how you
Kind of uppercut, and she's got leadership. Beautiful. So with Garnet now, I can have Sugalite. If I'd have kept Pearl, I could have had Sardonyx, who I think I prefer to Sugalite. I like in the episode where the Sugilite episodes. I think Sugilite represents an interesting sort of dynamic in that it's like it's power without control, and it's like its own little fable for Steven. It's something for him to learn. But I don't know. I'm not sure how good of a character Sugilite specifically is, if that makes sense. I should talk to... So yeah, this is what I was talking about. So she's now saying, sorry about my dad, Steven. Now this is the thing I was complaining about last week. Blah, 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 makes sense. If there's anything you know about Suitcase Sam, it's that he loves pizza. Actually, I don't know anything about Suitcase Sam. I've learned about him. I'll talk about him in a second. So, basically, I talked to her, and she was like, huh, I think my dad wants to see you. I talked to her dad, who's a foot from her, and he's like, I think my daughter has a problem. And I'm like, okay. And it's like, why didn't she just tell me initially? Why did I have to... I just assumed that this was the other sister. And he's going, Kiki needs you. I'm going, well, it's not this one, because you wouldn't ever send me back and forth like that. That'd be a waste of everyone's time, wouldn't it? That'd be bad design. So I assumed that I'd gotten the sisters wrong, and this was Jenny. But obviously it's not. Clearly it's Kiki. She's wearing the pizza outfit. Because she works... She seems to work more frequently. So yeah, that was one of those... What that... So apparently there's some sort of achievement if I get all my fortunes told.
Cheeseburger backpack.
I've got 2 of these things somehow. In the very near future I will receive a special prize.
I've got just
Great.
the thing.
And what about this one? Right, okay. Well, at some point I'll come back and do more of him. And apparently, so then the thing I missed out on over here at Buck is... Pretty amazing day. He guesses so. Blah, blah, blah. He envies me. We've done all this. And then apparently, the one I didn't select was I can't help you. Which... I think I did say, oh, I won't choose that. Steve wouldn't say that. But once I started doing them and he was giving me a same response for all of them, I thought I'd tried everything just out of curiosity. But I guess I hadn't. In the end, I ended up trying the option on B twice. It's not about what I can do, it's what you can do for yourself. Wow. That's deep, you're right. Thanks, Steven. You really opened up something inside me. Oh, boom. He just gave me some money. Money. Yeah, yeah. Okay. That's still... I'll take it. More of these things. So last time I was out here, I found a message in a bottle. Do they respawn, and what do they do? I think didn't I have to hand that to someone, and I've forgotten who. Maybe. Right, Suitcase Sam, and then Jenny, who would like a pizza cutter back, it seems. And then I'm going to get back to the important mission of whatever it is we're doing that Garnet's decided we're doing. That's handy for a video game, isn't it? To have a character that can be like, I know where we're supposed to go next. Oh, dear Lord. So yeah, it's Suitcase Sam. So basically with Suitcase Sam, I was like, is the joke that this is a character I've never seen? Apparently he's been in the background in an absolute boatload of episodes, and he's just like one of those characters that's always there but never really says or does anything. So yeah, he's appeared a few times apparently, and I just didn't know. Pizza cut, I've never even seen one that sharp. Well, lifesaver. And for me, I get fireproof badge, immune to the burn effect. So if we go to an area that requires that. Oh, let's see. I've just noticed that Jenny has the apron on too. Does she always have that on, or is that just sometimes? Because I'm trying to learn that I keep getting the sisters mixed up, which is really bad. And I think the way I'm going to do it, it's the bandana, isn't it? That's the difference. Kiki has the sort of bandana-y thing, whereas Jenny doesn't. I think that's how I need to. Obviously, Jenny hangs out with the cool kids, and Kiki does not necessarily. Work in progress, finished soon. Wow, it's going to be so good. Okay, so that's not ready yet either. Walk around as Garnet for a bit. Oh, she's tall. Maybe because she's tall, she can reach the... And I've just realised where I recognise that jump animation from Garnet, from when she leaps like this. I'm pretty sure she does that when she first becomes Garnet again after they're separated in Jailbreak. I think when she fuses back together, she bursts out like that, which is really cool. It's a shame she doesn't land in the same way, but they clearly couldn't animate that properly. They seem to struggle with landings in general. Oh my god, there's a whole other bit I've not yet seen! There's this street! Oh, this is the same street, just a little area of it I missed. How is she? Why wouldn't I be okay? She whooped their butts. Of course she did. Of course she did. Oh, and apparently as well, that statue of Maid Yui is a proper statue, not a cardboard cutout. I was very sad to learn that. I'd quite enjoyed the idea that it was a cardboard cutout. But there you go. Can't win them all. So, one other thing I want to very quickly check out, if it's possible. Yes, it is. I had a theory you could get onto this side of the... Oh, I think the message in the... Maybe the message in the bottle was for...
I know I put it in here somewhere.
Yes, it was. Since you're on a boat and all, make sure you're a captain. No, he's not giving me anything. Oh, perhaps more filling. Oh, there you go. I got another level up charm. As I mentioned last week, not going to be dishing out those level up things just. Oh, this is that tougher one that we had in the forge. So I've either got to upgrade Garnet or there's another character that can get through those. Maybe you can go when I upgrade Garnet's gauntlets, she'll get through those. Which, speaking of, actually, what do I need for that one? Gauntlet schematic, just one of those red ones. Still need a bunch of stuff for the new sword for Connie, though. And we're back. Back where we started. Well, there you go. There's a little jaunt around the town just to mop up some stuff. Mopping up is important, I guess. There we go. Yeah, so it was. I must admit, I was really like quite down when I discovered that I'd lost some progress and had to redo it. And I didn't want to redo it in the video because I felt like that would be really not a good thing to do. Because I just thought like you're just watching me do the same thing I've already done. So yeah, I will say that I got through the boss battle quicker. The reason being, 1 second. There's still an extra area over here I haven't been to. Oh, that's through that big door I saw. I remember. I guess that's something you will unlock later. And I also still haven't. Oh, I clicked on the wrong thing.
Over it.
Yeah, this is because now. Hey, it's Stephen. Oh, that's new. Is that new? Have I seen him do that before? Usually he's running. There he's sort of floating because Stephen floats. I've lost whatever I was saying. That's really annoying. Oh yeah, because so there's that second tree up there. Have I got enough dew to get through that tree? Did I get more dew at any point?
Ooh, I know.
No. And I'm still missing at least one glow stick. So I really do need to go back through and do some mopping up. Okay, hello. You're probably thinking, why are you saying hello, Dan? We've been talking for 20 minutes now, 30 minutes. No, we haven't. Well, not for me anyway. Basically, it's been 24 hours for me. I mean, I don't want to go too much into it because I could spend an hour whining. If I'm being honest with you about what happened. But yesterday I was playing. My intention was to do 2 sessions. One in the morning, one in the afternoon, and basically I was playing and I got a message on my Xbox, a little notification popped up, and it said, your hard drive is ready, it's good to go. And I'm thinking, that's odd, because it was good to go 40 minutes ago when I connected it to record the video I'm recording at this exact moment. And what happened was, the Xbox had for some reason ejected the hard drive mid-recording, which meant that the file had none of the relevant metadata and wasn't complete as such. The footage was there, but the Xbox hadn't done its finishing touches to make that file sort of readable by anything. It didn't have it had its tag as an MP4, I think that's what the Xbox saves them as, but no video software could figure out its frame rate, its length. They all just thought it was a 0.00 length video because there was just no metadata attached to it. So the footage was in there somewhere. I say somewhere. And yeah, the last 24 hours have been about, I'd say about 15 of which have been me stressing out trying to fix this. But let's. I'll explain a bit more as we go because it'll give me something to say. That was a bit. Garnet just appeared out of nowhere. So we're going to carry on as if I haven't just had 24 hours of absolute hell trying to extract footage. It took 5 separate pieces of software. 3 to save the video, because I had to do 1 piece of software that gave it its tags, 1 that extracted the footage once it had the tags but it was scrambled, and then a 3rd piece of software to de-scramble the video and put it back together as you've just seen it. Then a 4th piece of software to save the sound, because the sound wouldn't come through any of the editing softwares, and then my Final Cut Pro to actually lace them back together with the sound roughly in sync, but retiming it because the problem was that journey to get the footage corrected left it at 31 frames or 31.5 frames a second, which isn't a thing. So no software would line up the sound and the visuals. So I had to manually retime the footage to make it match, like losing, frames every so often, speeding up, slowing it out. It's a whole mess basically of trying to fix it. Legitimately, I would say somewhere between 14 and 15 hours of my time since yesterday, and considering it's about 24 hours since I was last recording, almost to the minute. You can imagine that's given me about a couple hours to spend with my girlfriend last night, a couple of hours to sleep. So yeah, technical difficulties galore this week. But anyway, let's on with the game, because I will whine for about 20 minutes if you let me. So it's Connie. It's too bad I didn't coming here at a time. I'd have packed my survival supplies for sure, and warmer clothes. Definitely warmer clothes. Brr, indeed.
Oh, yeah.
Feels fine to me. Yeah. Let's do this. So what are we doing here again is a good question. You'll see. Let's head this way. Oh yeah, I was talking about this in the last video. Garnet's future vision is like, it's handy for storytelling. And does it have to be Steven? That has to be Steven. Literally cannot be anyone else that does that. I want to, while I'm here, express that, yeah, so there were obviously these technical difficulties, and that was a big bummer, and it sort of consumed me for the last sort of, because the problem was with that saving glitch, you guys had already missed out on some gameplay because I had to go back and quickly replay. Which is that, in my opinion, that's really not ideal. The whole point, or not the point, but one of the awesome things about this is that you're on this journey with me in its entirety, and that you should see everything. And up until that point, you had. You'd seen literally everything that had happened to me in game and such. Oh, see, man. So I made a choice there. I started going down this path and was like, nah, the other path looks like it's going to have a secret thing, and I want the secret thing path first, so I have to double back on myself. So I assumed that was the secret thing path, went on it, and it turned out I was wrong. The secret thing path was the first one I was on all along. Anywho, what was I talking about? I don't even remember. Oh yeah, so it's a bit of a bummer because it's like I hope for you guys to see every minute of this journey, and I think as well some time has been lost at the end of the last video. I don't think it managed to de-scramble all of it, so I think there's I haven't had a chance to compare yet and find out exactly what I lost, but I think I lost a minute or two as well. But I think I've got up to the point when I was deciding to go back to the warp pad. At the very least, I know it's gone that far, so because I checked that when I was desyncing it. Yeah, what a nightmare though. And I also spent a chunk of yesterday. Oh, someone to fight. I also spent a chunk of yesterday, obviously testing the DVR with another game in the background, so like turning it on and hitting record, and then just leaving it to sort of. To sort of to make sure that it wasn't going to do that to me again, which there is really no way, because like, keeping in mind I played for like what, 5 hours before ooh, Garnet's got moves. Okay. Oh, too early. I've got to work out the timing on Garnet's skill set. Yeah, so I'm hoping that it will give me no further trouble. That's what I'm hoping. That's like the goal. These things are adorable, by the way. I like that they get bigger when they roll up. I also like the way that it scrunches over its eye. Like it's got so much sort of like, ooh, don't you look dangerous now? Okay, well, let's see if I can get the timing right on Garnet's. Boom, bingo bongo. I think Amethyst is the person to attack next, which doesn't have a thing, so we'll just use Connie on that. Amethyst is my next attack, because if that thing's staying spiky, I'm not attacking it while it's spiky. Not with one of those sort of hands-on attacks, anyway. Ah, don't need to worry about that anymore. Or I do. Nope, it's going big, not spiky. Cool. Who do I... Nope. Ah, let me take out the little guy. Then I can focus on this one. Oh, look, he looks angry. I think he's about to attack unless I do something. Too early. Drats. Big and spiky. That is not a good combination. Yeah, so hopefully the footage will work today and it won't... God, if I have to go through that experience again of... Oh dear, if I have to go through that experience again of saving footage, I may have to pause this series for a little while until I can find a more reliable method of... which would suck, because I'm really enjoying playing the game. That was the other frustration yesterday. It was like, I just wanted to play a game! Now I'm on my computer for hours and editing software and rendering software, just desperately trying to find something. Oh, and I managed to give my bloody laptop a... I managed to give my laptop a virus. That's lunacy, right? Like... Yeah, my laptop got a virus through that yesterday because I was... it got to a point where I was downloading the dodgiest software in the world out of just desperation, like try anything sort of thing. It's such a terrible idea. Like, I say a virus. It wasn't a virus as such. One of the packages came bundled with... I suppose it's not a virus, it's malware. It's called MacKeeper, and if you've ever experienced MacKeeper, which I hadn't, I've always avoided it. You see adverts for it if you've got a Mac all the time, and it just seems like a big piece of shit. It's like, scan your Mac for stuff, and then we'll sell you stuff that'll help you fix the stuff we found. It's a bit like taking your car to the car dealer, and dealer's like, yeah, you got a broken MacGuffin. Yep, one of the... Oh, you're gonna want to get that fixed. But it's horrible software. It hides itself. It doesn't hide so most software on a Mac is in your applications folder. This software, like, yellow.
Steven!
Hey, it's Perry. No, things are objectively not okay. Tactical battles in RPG. What's wrong with it? It's defective. No matter what I do, I can't progress. Good talk. That was really random. I love it though. Was that the game subtly telling me that I need to level up, or telling, like, dumb kids that they need to, just so they don't go into the next area without having... Oh, look, one of those Voltron tokens. That's cool. Yeah, the controls on this game aren't precise enough for platforming to be a thing, especially not platforming on a big slidey surface. But I guess we'll see. Yeah, so this MacKeeper software is like, it's basic. I mean, I say it's malware. It is basically, I mean, for all intents and purposes, as far as I'm concerned, that is a virus. It acts and behaves in every way you'd expect a virus to. If you try to close it down in your task manager, it will open itself back up again, which is delightful, I promise you. And like, yeah, so there's so that was another bit of fun that I had yesterday with us. So basically, I was like, all I wanted to do was play a video game, and here I am, like, dealing with this shit. Like, that's not fair. So yeah, it wasn't my best day, let's just say, especially when my Oh, wow. So that's something I've got to watch out for. There's contextual environmental hazards now as well. Theoretically, though, could I not knock them into one if there was one behind them too? There isn't, but if there was, that'd be something I could consider, I feel. Okay, let's deal with you. Let's finish you. Go, Steven, go! Yeah, so that was good fun. And by fun, I mean nightmarish. Even my little star meter's been frozen, so it's going slower, I guess? No, don't do that again, you'll kill Amethyst! Ah, bummer. Amethyst poofed again. Actually, has anyone else died? I would have to go back, but I don't think anyone else in the game has yet either passed out or poofed, depending on the person, obviously. That's crazy if that's true.
Cheeseburger backpack! Guys, how about this?
She's still frozen as well.
This one's for Steven.
Another roses tier in the off chance that I'm in a situation where I desperately want to. There's an onion over there. I say an onion because I've come across him multiple times now. How do I heal Amethyst's status effect? Because she is. Will that come off automatically? Or? Ah, that's a bit of a bummer. And now Steven is also the same way. That is ridiculous. There are a lot of hazards in this world. Does it come off after a while, or do you just like that until you die? That doesn't seem great for me as things go.
Cheeseburger backpack!
There's got to be something that removes status effects. I'm sure I saw something that did, and I've forgotten what it was. Aha!
Guys, how about this? Ooh, I know. This'll do the
No, I
trick.
didn't mean to do that.
Ooh,
Oh, that's
I know.
really a waste of... Alright.
Maybe this?
That's really frustrating, because I only had one left and now it's gone. Alright, well... Booyah! Okay, so let's see if we can turn this to our advantage now. Yes, we can. Let's just see if Steven can just walk through them all that way. He's not. That's frustrating. They're not like thingy enough for that to be the case. That was a shame. I was hoping they'd be like centered enough to still fall in, because that looks like it shouldn't really be able to sit on that water without falling in, but there you go. So moving on from my woes of yesterday and all the technical difficulties, so far liking this world. I think this it makes sense, isn't it? It's like the traditional video game sort of fare of ice world, fire world, sort of forest, that, you know, the sort of traditional levels. I figured we'd have this stuff in the game, and I think they've made some interesting. The perils of this world are quite legit, though. Like, I was surprised at how, with it being only the second one we visited in the game, I'm surprised it's quite so perilous, if that makes sense. I think Connie should take this guy, so she doesn't. Does that push her forward? No, she goes back to where she was. Great. So if someone was to hit her now in a way that would push her back, she is in the drink. But yeah, I think it's interesting to. I mean, I fear now what the. Damn. And I already gave her the bloody solution to that and wasted it. I'm sure there's something else that heals status effects in my own, so. But, yeah, Lord. But yeah, I think this is a really interesting way for this to play out, because I think that you... but I just don't know how you up the ante on this, like, because there's so much peril here. Like, the status effects are quite drastic. The slowing down, it looks like slowing down at least of my the way my star meter goes up. All the potential literal pitfalls that exist. Like, there's, I don't know, there's a lot. Let someone save Connie. Who should save Connie? Well, we'll do Steven, so we potentially get Steve on it. Who is my favourite. There we go. There you go. Now, what do we do about the Connie situation here? Ooh, electrocutes an enemy, disabling them. This effect will... There you go. Cool. So for those of you who've been asking, so as well, I had a few... I had some interesting feedback about, like, that I'm not playing the game sort of smart enough. And I think it's... There's one person who phrased it that way, but a lot of people have been sort of getting at that with what they've been saying, rather than actually directly outright saying that. Yeah, probably not. I'll be honest with you. I think it's a combination of me not being very good at these sort of games in general. But I do think, and this isn't an excuse, this is just the reality, I do think recording alongside... I don't know what to do, because I don't think I have anything that restores the status. I don't think I have any items that are going to help me here. So this might be a... Unless Onion does. His little stall. I mean, I've not spent any money yet, so I feel like maybe... That's pretty good. That's really what I need. Okay. Shame I've got to use one of them straight away, but... Wait, what just happened? I didn't... Dude. Okay, well, it went on Connie, so that'll do. Unless it's some sort of super one that...
What am I gonna pick?
That's some sort of special magic one that does everyone. That's even worse then, so I just wasted that on just Connie. Oh well. I was gonna say, it didn't let me choose the person. Right, anyway. So yeah, so I think the problem is, it is really generally hard to be thinking... Oh no. Wow, this is... Okay, so I'm going to take away my excuse if I'm just not concentrating because I'm thinking of things to say, and just say that I'm an idiot. That was extremely stupid. On every level. Wow. I feel good. Okay, well, I got some more anyway, so...
What am I gonna pick? What am I gonna pick?
That's Feel Great Tea. Feel Good Tea is a different product. That does a specific person. Right. Okay, no more falling in the water, guys. Just want to put that out there. No one else fall in the water. And by that, I mean... Damn, don't... Okay, I'm going to say that one wasn't my fault. I was rolling about trying to find the enemy. I'd seen the top of them. Nothing I could have done there. I don't feel. There we go. So yeah, so I do think genuinely though, and this isn't a criticism of anyone who said it. I'm not playing smartly. I'm absolutely acknowledging that that criticism is accurate and fair and right. I think the problem that I'm experiencing, or that we're experiencing, is that like I'm not getting the time to think before stuff happens. So I'm just sort of having to just go sort of like in battle where I should be concentrating on what I'm actually selecting because I'm thinking of something to say and talking. I'm just like, and I guess I'll get better at that. I hope. I would like to think I'll get better at that. Because if I don't, then we're gonna have a not trouble, but it's gonna impact quality of it's gonna impact the quality of what we're doing, what I'm doing here, I think. That was nice. Yeah. Hoping here to get Garnet and Amethyst fusion going. Let's see how that goes today. Who do I choose? Who do I choose? Let's... I'll let Connie have the honour of finishing it. Since the last time we were in a fight, one of those things pushed her into the water twice, I think. Ba-doo. So I think sometimes I'm not making smart decisions, and that's why I'm just sort of rushing because I'm worried about, am I saying something right now, or am I? Because usually when you literally stopping and thinking for me, because I'm not the best multitasker, literally means going and like being silent as I think it through. Definitely want that. Oh, the cost is 3 and I've only got 2. Alright, I'm saving that one because I want to get everyone to that first thing of teamwork at least.
Love is all you need.
Oh, you know what? I don't think I actually saved what I did. I've always got leftover stats. Well, that helps.
Love is all you need.
That is all you need. The Beatles told me that. Oh, that's tricky. What do I... Screw it. Let's build up her attack.
Check this out, Stephen.
She's immune to knockback. What is her thing again? Super shield breaker. Yes, I need to get her attack up because I really need that. Actually, have I looked at hers yet? She's got a taunt. She increases her taunt range. And what if it can't, she receives a defense buff. Shield breaker is a really good thing to have. 50% chance of mega damage. This is what I'm saying. Like, I'm worried about this like being dull, so I'm like moving on and not reading everything properly and like rushing through it. God, Garnet doesn't even have a badge. Let's fix that. Well, there aren't many badges left to assign, but what's this one? Slightly regenerate health at all times. Immune to burn. Right, let's see what I can give her. Does Pearl have one? Did I put Pearl away holding a badge? Yeah, it's a regen health one. I don't need her attack to go up. Yeah, why not give her the freebie badge?
Shiny.
Shiny indeed. Cool. Right, you guys are all set then. Was that a... Yeah, there's a warp pad. Still some stuff. Still some stuff to find. It's a big old icy world of death and doom. I do think they could have been a bit kinder, by the way, putting... Because I do feel a little bit like putting platforming with that level of necessary precision in this game was a bit cruel. So this is that moment again where I'm going, up the top there's a path to my right. Now that feels like where the game is going, and down here feels like where they might hide a collectible of some sort. So I'm going to go this way. Damn it. That's really annoying. But if I've got that wrong, and this is where the story goes, no, this is collectibles, good. Something tells me I'm going to...
Never give up.
Yeah.
Never surrender.
This feels like a Pearl thing. Damn. If you're wondering why I risked Connie, then the only thing I've got left gets them all healed, so it doesn't really matter that Connie is also, like Steven, been in the drink. Let us see. I feel like that is a Pearl. I think Pearl is the solution. So for a moment, Garnet, you're going away for Pearl. It will be temporary, I promise. I want some Pearl points. Because I'm pretty convinced that she is the solution to that particular problem. Because I'm pretty sure... Alright, well, I'm putting you away in a minute, Pearl, anyway, so I don't even care if you're not. Right. I am terrible at the platform in this game. And I mean, I don't think the platforming in this game is particularly well designed. I think it's a bit imprecise, but I am quite bad at it, is what we're learning here. Okay. Careful. 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 So this... I can't tell if this is a special area now or if this is actually the continuation of where I'm supposed to be going. But... Let's do that for a start. And then... Oh. No, I can't. Oh, damn. Oh, he's targeting poor old Steven. Who I've not seen pooped in this game yet, thankfully, because I think that would traumatize me somewhat.
How about...
Then again, would Steven poof? I suppose that's a big question from the show. Is still like, we don't really know what would happen. Do I
Item, I choose you.
that may have been not a wise use of that item, but again, my ability to think while talking and. So I think I finally figured out.
Wait for it.
The pearl mechanic for the throwing.
There.
See? Yeah. For those who remember, I very... No, I think I need to play smarter here with... Steven. Sorry, I just realized I've gone quiet for a minute while I was concentrating. This is the problem. It's finding that balance of like, don't play like an idiot, but also make sure you're still entertaining to people who are listening. I say entertaining. I think it'd be very generous if we describe this as entertainment. But, boom. Okay. Well, now we're making. This is progress. This is what progress looks like, guys. I hope you're appreciating it. I'm still not sure if this is like a bonus area that I found, or if this is where the story mission goes on. Because if this is where the story mission continues, then I need to backtrack a little bit because there was a whole area to that side. I'm also a little bit conscious now of the recording. I'm recording for about 30 minutes on this particular file, so we'll see. So weird, it's just gonna die any minute, and I'll be very upset. Ah. That's cool. I will use that at some point shortly, because I do want. I've noticed there's an achievement for everyone's mixed attack, like getting everyone sort of like up to a point where they can use their. Oh man, I've got one. I'll use Steven. Might as well make use of it. And it pushes him back a little bit, gets him slightly out of our way. He's rolled right back to where he was. Of course he has. Not much we could have done about that, was there? This is demanding more of my concentration than I imagined it would. I don't know why. Either that or I'm just still a little bit frazzled from spending the last day Ah, beautiful. Yeah, boy. All right. Let's be more careful going forward. Because this is all we've proven here is that I really am just an idiot.
Not every day you get to collect treasure.
It isn't every day you get to collect treasure. That is true. So a schematic for Pearl's spear, and it makes sense that you would only be able to get that here as Pearl. I'm willing to bet that Pearl is in fact Steven's jump cycle is the one I'm the most familiar with. So that makes it. That makes him the most likely. Oh, how do you... that... I don't know if Lapis is unlockable, but if she is, you would argue that there's a chance she could somehow get up there. But for the time being, this was the sort of bonus area. That's a really neat idea that they've created a puzzle that only Pearl can be on the team to solve to unlock the schematic for her. Damn. What did I say about being more careful? I definitely said something about being more careful. Every time I get one of those tea things, I'm like, great for the future, and then immediately fall into the water, and I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna have to use it straight away. Okay, no, what I need to do now is, is get, sadly, rid of Pearl, because I feel like mixing the team up as much as possible is a good thing. And Pearl was the character I used kind of the least in the previous thing, although now I know how to use her. I was watching the video back and I realized what I was doing wrong. I assumed it was one of those, like, it was swinging back and forth when I was moving the joystick, and I wasn't in control of it as such. So the idea was that it would swing back and forth and you would hit the button to sort of release it, because that's similar to another game I'm playing at the moment. And but evidently that is not how that works at all. So, no. Yeah, there we go. And I'm afraid I'm gonna have to waste it
Item, I choose you.
on the idiot that is me. Right, less falling over, please. Which is a sentence I don't usually. That's interesting. No, it's green. That is very interesting. I don't know what to make of that, because it is the ship they were initially following was it was red, I guess, or an orange, or some shade of that sort of colour. It's interesting. That's the other question I have right now, is like, how far do I take this now? Because I'm clearly like not with it as much as I usually am on this one. So maybe it'd be wiser for me to end this sooner rather than later. Shall we? Tell you what, we'll see. We'll get into one more battle and probably fall into the water at least once more, just because that's what's gonna happen, not because that's what I want to happen. Oh, that's ice. We're okay. From up here, that looked like water. Oh, item, essential item, beautiful, life-giving item. Sort of item I need a lot at the minute. Again, I'm forced with the choice, 2 paths. Which one leads to a goodie and which one leads to the story? This one's got to be the goodie path, right? Again, precious life-giving items. I'll probably have one more battle before I end this then, because next ability costs 0. That's good. The reason being is I want to at least see Amethyst and Connie's like team move. No! Unbelievable. Every time I think I'm through. So that was at the top of that waterfall, so I don't need to worry about climbing over that waterfall in any way, shape or form going forward. Because that's what that was. Oh, so you can't climb on that like I thought maybe you could. Okay. Well, at least I learnt that with Steven, a character who has already got the status effect on him. So I need to use 1 heal item for that. I made 2 or 3 mistakes. It's fine. It's only going to cost me 1 heal item for that stupidity. So no, let's not get giddy and try to do multiple platforms. Or we could do exactly that like an idiot. This is what keeps leading us to ruin, Dan. Stop it. It's gonna bother me that I left that one thing, even though they're not worth that much. Maybe what I need to learn here is just like not to use the item straight away, like finish whatever platformy bit I'm doing. So if they fall in again, then it's like, oh, they've already got the status effect, rather than keep healing them. In fact, again, that's the sort of like thinking that I should be doing. Oh, this fight looks sufficiently important enough to warrant being where we end this today. So, what I wanted to do was Amethyst and Connie's team move, which is that, because I just thought it would be cool to get a chance to actually see that. Bingo bongo. Oh, you're so close to being gone. Let's get rid of you then.
Cheeseburger backpack.
And let's use... Yeah. Let's keep using Steven. That's adorable, Steven. I like that. I was able to push him back onto the platform that the thing was on. Ruh-roh. I hope someone gets a move to save Steven before. Ooh, let's build up. Let's give the one that's the relationship that needs a little bit more attention there, so I can do. I bet there's a great team move between Amethyst and Steven. Not Amethyst and Steven, sorry, Garnet and Steven. Yeah, I guess I'm just left with. This big guy spent a lot of this fight dizzy. Oh no, I forgot one of the lessons I learned in the early episode. I haven't drunk my tea. Chose the wrong time to drink my tea. Chose the wrong time to drink my tea. There's a thing lumbering towards me. Die, thing. Boom. Thing is still lumbering. Attacks did not give it much cause to not attack. Let's see if Connie can help here. Connie's move seems more effective. I should have done more of Connie's move, but anyway. Too early. I got.
So
Oh, I didn't give.
Hasta la vista.
No. Oh, there you go. That answers it. So, because the show hasn't clarified if Steven can be poofed or not yet, the game has not felt compelled to show him retreating into his shell, into his gem. That makes perfect sense, actually, because, God, I would have so many questions if he was properly poofing in this game. And I've always suspected that a big element to where this show ends is going to be, can Steven... Oh, awesome. A storm of attacks against a single target. Push them on faster for more attacks. Wow, that's going to be exciting to test that out. Yeah, I've always theorized that the show is going to end with them having to... Where Steven basically is going to have to potentially sacrifice himself.
Guys,
And they won't know if he'll make it out of it because of his... They don't know if he can...
Ooh, I know. Guys,
They don't know if he can poof properly or not. Therefore, they don't know if he'll come back, and of course he will.
wow.
We'll call it the Harry Potter effect, if you like. Level up charm, beautiful. Please let that be the end to the slippy platforming, because I'm no good at it. I feel like we're about to head to a different area. Do I save it here? Do I go?
We're just getting started.
We're just getting... No, we're ending soon, I'd hope. This has already been longer than any of the others we've done, so... No, Garnet. We're not getting started. I'm pretty much going to save it on the next screen. I'm assuming there's some sort of cutscene. We'll probably end on that, like as if it's a cliffhanger. As if it's a cliffhanger to a TV show.
Stick together, team.
Oh, well, I assumed there'd be a cutscene almost immediately. Very cool. Oh, wow. Next time. Next time when I'm more with it, we're gonna do that. Because I do not fancy doing that right now. Yeah. But we do have some more of that tea,
I
right?
know.
Yeah, we do. Right, well, that's gonna be it for this one. Yeah, a little bit slower for me today. Like I said, I'm kind of exhausted because I really did sort of because the thing is, I really wanted to play more, and I've got another day or two off work to like do a couple of these to get ahead before I'm back to work, and therefore can only really realistically do one every now and then. because that's another thing I wanted to very briefly explain is that I'm only going to do these just that there's no official timescale for these. While I'm doing them quickly, you'll get one a day because it doesn't hurt to do that, and I'm doing them quickly right now because, like I said, I'm off work for a little while. But I only got a couple days left of that, and basically I'll just do them when I feel like it because I don't want it to stop being fun. So I'm not going to put a schedule on it. Because if I put a schedule on it and I feel pressure to release them at certain dates, then it's going to stop being fun. Right now, it's pretty fun to do, which is one of the reasons I was so good about the way it all played out yesterday. But thankfully, we've not had that problem thus far today. So yeah, that's this one. Come back next time for another one, I guess.